I thought I just selected let's get... Oh, get some sleep. I guess that means that this is the following morning, is what this means. Oh, who's this? Think they'd let me take a picture? No. If I knew this was going to happen, I would have made mountain climbing off limits. Dang. Late again. So nervous I couldn't get any sleep. Once the guide gets here, we're heading out. Listen to me, Sephiroth. In case something happens. Trust me. Oh, this is what's going to lead into that flashback that we saw earlier in the game. Look, she's wearing the same hat. The Texas hat. Or you could just call it, like, kind of cowboy-like hat. But I'm going to call it Texas hat, because she literally has a sign that says Texas in her bar. And I'm from Texas, and so represent. I'll be alright, Dad. I have 2 men from Soldier with me. I mean, you know, going back to Texas last year and seeing it for the first time at an age that I could remember it. I thought it was intriguing, and I enjoyed my time there, but I don't think it's a place that I'd want to live. But still, Texas represent. I'm Tifa. Nice to meet you. Tifa, you're the guide? That's right. It so happens I'm the #1 guide in this town. It's too dangerous. I can't get you involved in this. There's no problem if you protect her. Let's go. Mr. Sephiroth, please let me take 1 picture for a memento. Tifa, can you ask him for me too? Okay, so he doesn't want a photo together. He just wants a picture, like, of Sephiroth. Oh, we're gonna get a picture of the 3 of us? Just, like, because this guy wants a memento? Like, I would have thought, like, he'd get a picture with Sephiroth. Like, I assume this is for story reasons, so that later there can be, like, a photo that comes up that has, like, the 3 of us together. Is the story reason for this? I have no doubt at this point. But still, like, what kind of maniac wants a picture of, like, the local tour guide, some person that he just met that he doesn't know anything about, presumably, with Cloud, and the person that he actually wants a picture of? Like, what? I don't get it. Again, I have no doubt it's because then there will be a picture of the 3 of us that comes up later in the plot. Like, I feel like that seems pretty obvious here. I've seen enough stories to have a bit of a funny feeling there. Great, thank you. Why does this dude just want it? I'll give each of you a copy once I get it developed. Mako Reactor was built in Mount Nibble. But, like, why wouldn't you want a picture of, like, either just Sephiroth or, like, him with Sephiroth? Is what I mean. The cold mountain air of Mount Nibble was the same. Oh god, this is gonna be a pain to, like, figure out what I can traverse, won't it? I guess if this is where Rebirth starts, it, like, works well as, like, a place to tutorialize, like, a brand new game. I ended up looking up, like, whether it was possible to, like, transfer your save data, like, your levels and stuff like that, from, like, Remake to Rebirth, and then presumably Rebirth to whatever the next game is. And apparently, no, they're just, like, treated as completely separate games with, like, their own progression and stuff like that. So, I mean, that might feel kind of shitty when it's, like, how much did my progress matter and stuff when I go from game to game. But I guess this does make sense as, like, a place to start Rebirth is, like, hey, you can just have, like, tutorials be in the flashbacks and stuff. That would ruin the level progression of the games, so I guess they're very much designed for being standalone games and stuff. And yeah, a bunch of stuff about, those games that I don't really know and stuff. I played the original, but was intrigued by it, so War of the Lions and stuff there is what that stands for. What, another battle here. Oh, and Sephiroth is still here, so, like... Ow! That is so much damage to me. Just miss him. Bolt 3. Wow. I've never cared about sequels having to reset power levels, though I know some folks get real goofy about it. Like, it depends on how you handle the sequel. I think it's more so in this case, it's like, it used to be 1 game, and now it's multiple. Like, we'll see what I feel like when I actually start playing, like, the remade games. Like, I might well feel differently. But, I mean, from the perspective of I just put in 10 hours in Midgar and I'm continuing the game, if my levels got reset at this point, I would be pissed off. But if Remake is like a 40-hour game and like it is a full standalone start to finish kind of thing, and then it doesn't feel too bad about starting a whole new game, and I don't know. Like, these are gonna be opinions that I'm just worried about what I'll have in terms of opinions later on, but I won't actually be able to form them until I get to those games, so we'll see. This area looks much less gloomy in Rebirth. Gets harder from here. Follow me. Can I, like, heal or something? Because, I mean, like, if I say magic, Sephiroth looks kind of sad. Cure 2, Cure 3. I assume these are just, like, the upgrade version stuff. There we go. Get Sephiroth to heal me up because he's just such a nice guy. The bridge. Whoa. Again, you gotta put it into the context of the time. But as a modern game player, it does look a little bit goofy, I will admit here. So we're on our own now. Wait, not even with Sephiroth, or... I don't know. One of the soldiers is with us here. Everyone seems to be alright. Will we be able to get back? These caves are intertwined, like an ant farm. Oh, and Sephiroth. One person seems to be missing. It may sound cruel, but we have no time to search for him. We can't go back, so we must go on. We'll travel together from here. Okay, so do I have... I don't have Tifa in my party like that. Not quite. Alright, so... see how well I can figure out what's traversable around here. See how well I figure that out. Quake 3. Yeah, so this is definitely a very good way of show don't tell when it comes to Sephiroth being absurdly strong. Like, if I think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for a hot second, I talked about how in that game, the game never proved that, like, the enemies were, like, tough to you, because it never really demonstrated their power, and any time that you face them, you always win. There isn't really a situation where you lose, except for once, where you just, like, win, like, 20 minutes later anyway. But oftentimes I feel like you should be showing rather than telling, like, prove that they're an actual threat so that we know to, like, actually be like, oh no, what's gonna happen when we face that opponent? When we know that they're actually threatening. Either by having us face them and lose, or by demonstrating their strength in, like, some other way. And this is a good example of demonstrating their strength in some other way. Where it's like, we see Sephiroth's stats and can compare them to, like, our stats and our gameplay that we've had in the game up until this point. And just go, like, holy shit, if we faced him, like, we would totally lose. Like, and this is in the past, and he's presumably maybe even stronger than that now. So it is a good example of, despite the fact that we've never faced Sephiroth, we know that he's not to be messed around with. And also seeing what he did in the tower at Shinra and stuff. What's this? A mysteriously colored cave. It must be the Mako energy. This mountain is especially abundant in it. That's why the Mako reactor was built here. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, so more stuff with that game there. I feel like the battle animation in Final Fantasy VII have aged well, particularly the summons. They put modern Game Freak Switch games to shame. Well, I'll definitely look forward to seeing the summons here then. In that case. A crystal. Let's go awaken all the crystals. And what's this? A Mako fountain. It's a miracle of nature. It's so beautiful. If the Mako reactor continues to suck up the energy, this fountain will dry up too. Materia. When you condense Mako energy, materia is produced. It's very rare to see materia in its natural state. By the way, why is it that when you use materia, you can also use magic too? You weren't soldier and didn't even know that? The knowledge and wisdom of the ancients is held in the materia. Anyone with this knowledge can freely use the powers of the land and the planet. That knowledge interacts between ourselves and the planet, calling up magic. Or so they say. I do kind of like the text boxes of this game in that they aren't afraid to get like bigger or smaller as they need to so you can see more bits. I kind of don't like it when games are just like, hey, there's only like 2 lines of dialogue at most, and then if someone's doing like a long paragraph, you have to be like, hey, here's like these 5 words of this sentence, then like the next 5 or 6 words of the sentence, and then hit A, and the next 5 or 6 words of the sentence, then hit A, and the next 5 or 6 words. Sometimes it's kind of nice just having like a full couple sentences laid out and being able to like take it all in. Like, I know that that format doesn't work that great for some games that have their text boxes set up in like specific ways, like take the 3DS Fire Emblem games for example, where it's like they need the text boxes to be so big so that they can have like the sprites that show like the character's expression and stuff like that, taking up so much of the top screen. But I do kind of like just being able to like take it in, you know? I like me some big text boxes. Magic. Mysterious power. Did I say something funny? A man once told me never to use unscientific terms like mysterious power. It shouldn't even be called magic. I still remember how angry he was. Magic, a nerd. Who was that? Hojo of Shinrank, and an experienced man assigned to take over the work of a great scientist. It was a walking mass of complexes. A Mako fountain. So this is where the knowledge of the ancients is. Quite the zigzaggy route. Alright. Man, whoever did like the pipe work here needs to be fired. Like, what what terrible organizational skills here. With all the zigzaggy all over the place. Oh my god, whoops. Like, just have them go straight. Like, I'm sure that it's a design thing gameplay-wise. I mean, like, in terms of, like, the realism of, like, the real situation. Where it's like, would you really want them going all sorts of different directions? Yeah. I'm sure it's designed like that for a reason. I'm sure they wanted to give an impression, like, as game developers. Give the impression that whoever did the plumbing around here is, like, on some sort of loopy drugs. We finally made it. We sure took the long way, though. We fell into a ravine. How do we get back with the bridge destroyed? And maybe there's just a different way in general? Tifa, you wait here. I guess we didn't exactly take the conventional way. I'm going inside, too. I want to see. So this is where we'll get, like, the flashback scene. Only authorized people are allowed in. This place is full of Shinra's industrial secrets. But take care of the lady. Just 2 dudes that are best bros but not gay, going in to go inspect the place alone. Man. Better take real good care of me then. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I can't go down off this or walking across this. And you're telling me this was the standard entrance? Oh, wait, how did I get up here? What? You can't... Oh, I thought this was like a thing that I hopped down, but okay. But yeah. But yeah. Like, in terms of, like, the Final Fantasy Tactics or, like, the other thing, is that still a conversation too, or just mean, like, in general, a video that was in favor of sacrificing gameplay and level design for the sake of gameplay? Yeah, this is definitely the place of the, that flashback. This is Jenova, right? It won't open. This is the reason for the malfunction. This part is broken. Cloud, close the valve. My brain almost read that as choose the valve. So definitely some real good ones to look forward to here. I didn't even see where the heck the valve was. Okay, did I do it, I guess? Why did it break? I use Super Paper Mario as an example where the game has some levels that are from an objective view, badly designed, but work from a story perspective, just like the Samurai Guide chapter. I'm not entirely sure what that is. But I mean, like, ideally you always have, like, a game that has, like, gameplay and story elements that complement one another, or like gameplay elements that directly play into the story. Like the example that I always cite is Shulk's visions in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, where him seeing the future is a key part of the story, and him seeing the future is also a key gameplay mechanic where it's like, hey, you see a party member dying, you have 12 seconds to like change the future in some way, and it's actually a really cool gameplay mechanic that you just don't have in Xenoblade 2 or 3. Something that I really liked about the gameplay of 1. Didn't have it in X either. Unless they somehow put it in with Definitive, but I doubt it. So I really like those kinds of elements of... Those kinds of ludo-harmonic elements is probably the best way to put it. Wish you were more familiar with Super Paper Mario, barely remember anything about it. It's the next Mario RPG I want to play on this channel. It's the next one on the list. I want to get through all the Mario RPG games, and that one's next up. I'm probably gonna do it during Mega Land, because Mega Land last year, I did Thousand Year Door. So this year, Mega Land, I'll probably do Super Paper Mario, so that'll be in May. So there'll probably be a full playthrough of Super Paper Mario around here in May, most likely. Plans could change, but that's what my plan is right now. Can't wait until you have an aneurysm at Chapter 510. Oh, I see. Hojo. But doing this will never put you on the same level as Professor Gast. Oh, that was a name that we heard mentioned at Shinra there. This is a system that condenses and freezes the Mako energy. That is, when it's working correctly. Now, what does Mako energy become when it's further condensed? Oh yeah, it becomes materia. Right, normally. But Hojo put something else in there. Take a look. It's gonna be the protagonist from Fallout 4 in the crowd chamber. Look through the window. I'm trying to. Oh. What is that? Normal members of Soldier are humans that have been showered with Mako. You're different from the others, but still human. But what are they? They've been exposed to a far higher degree of Mako than you. Is this some kind of monster? Exactly. And it's Hojo of Shinra that produced these monsters. Mutated living organisms produced by Mako energy. That's what these monsters really are. Normal members of Soldier? You mean you're different? Hey, Sephiroth! No. Was I? Was I created this way too? Am I the same as all these monsters? Sephiroth. You saw it. All of them were humans. Human? No way. Ever since I was small, I felt that I was different from the others. Special in some way. But not like this. Oh, we're getting like a full-on cutscene here. Oh, the dude in there is pissed off. A battle will start against this dude. Am I human? Is this Sephiroth speaking or that guy there? Oh, I didn't really understand what Sephiroth meant then. I was even more surprised that Shinra was producing monsters. Damn Shinra. The more I hear, the more I hate them. Who would have ever thought the Mako reactor held such a secret? That would seem to explain the increase in the number of monsters recently. I think we should listen carefully to Cloud. Don't you think so, Barrett? Why are you talking to me? Save game and rest? There isn't going to be a flashback boss battle or anything. I assume it's just giving me the option because, like, the cutscenes are so long that, Like, it gives you an out, where it's like, okay, I can put down the game and I can see the rest next time. I presume it's that, and I'm good to keep on playing here. But just in case there's flashback boss battle, which is not like I can grind for it, I have to be able to do it at that strength. So it wouldn't be that threatening, but just in case, yeah, maybe so. I want to take a breather here. If ever the game gives me the opportunity to save, always do it. I'm going to start cycling slots.